This is Inspirational Women, a weekly series shining the spotlight on female trailblazers making a true difference in our community. Once again, here is Kate Daniels.
Kavya Thakrar is an amazing young woman, just 16 years old, but with wisdom and drive of someone more than twice or even 3 times her age. But we shouldn't let numbers be a deciding factor. Kavya's had big dreams and has built foundations under them in the form for today of sharing with us a book she's written, Bows and Ties. I'm certainly inspired by Kavya and the energy she brings to the world, not the least of which is hope. Kavya Thakrar, good morning. Thank you so greatly for being with us today.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, can I say, you're welcome. And can I say, I am so in awe of you as this young woman who has these dreams and you're just pursuing them. It's really just so stunning to me because at just 16 years old, you seem like you have this world of experience behind you and you're just so poised. And do you think of yourself in that way, or are you feeling that, well, this is just me and this is natural?
Honestly, to me, this is natural. I feel like this is how I naturally talk and interact on a daily basis. And if that comes across as poised, great. Obviously, that's what I want it to come across as. But yeah, this is just me being me and having a conversation.
Well, you're doing it marvelously. And again, I'm going to use the word being in awe of you. But maybe that's not fair to others who, I'm kind of thinking 16 is still this kind of uncertain age. But, having this experience of you having written this book, Bows and Ties, which again is an amazing feat for a young woman, not to just dream of having a book, but actually to do all the work for the content, because the book is a series of interviews, so you had to do all of that. Just amazing. So let's back up to then the question of what inspired you to want to have a book of these special interviews?
So I want to go back to COVID-19. I think during this time, it was obviously a period of uncertainty. A lot of people didn't really know what was going on. And me transitioning from elementary school to middle school, and then also kind of dealing with COVID from 7th to 8th grade, I was kind of honestly just, it was me, myself, and I was stuck in my own thoughts. And I think this kind of led to anxiety, insecurity, just feelings of not being good enough. And it was actually stories with other female family members or friends or family friends that kind of got me out of this rut. So I figured these stories and kind of knowing these people, like not just as an aunt, a friend, a mom, or a grandmother, it's knowing them as people and knowing what they've been through. I think that was very inspiring to me, and that kind of got me out of that rut. So I figured these female stories could probably do the same thing for not only women and girls, but also just people around the world. It's inspiring stories at the end of the day. So that was kind of my motivation for creating my book.
Well, and that's an amazing awareness to put that together, to be thinking outside of yourself, to think of this is what has helped me, and I really want to be there to help others. I guess that was a big part of the motivation.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Again, just so amazing. So that's the initial plan, is to do something to help others. And then you need to connect with all these other amazing women who you feature in this book. So how do you go about, being able to make these connections and arrange all that?
So going into this, when I was kind of in the brainstorming process, I want to give a shout out to my mom because she helped me with this so much and kind of curating these lists of women to interview. So before I actually started reaching out, I had a list of 180 women that I wanted to interview. That I've either seen them on TV or Instagram, or just people word of mouth were talking about how amazing they were. So I every single name that I heard that I resonated with, I put on the list, and then finally it came came time to actually start reaching out. And I got a lot of no's. I also got a lot of unexpected yeses. And the women that I found a date solidified with, those were the women that I was able to interview. I'm so grateful because these 19 women that I interviewed, they all had kind of an impact on my life in some way. Even when I put their name on this list, it was the type of name that I was like, I really hope I can interview them. And it happened. So, yeah.
Just like that. And so and it is amazing. I mean, the stories are great. Your interaction with them, the comments, the how you listen to them and extract what you want to have or put down on the printed page. All of that is just so awesome. And there's a lesson there. Like I think you said you had 180 names on the list?
Yes, yeah.
And the book contains 19. Potentially, there might have been a few more. But if you look at the numbers, that might be about 10%. All those no's did not deter you because you got many yeses, the important yeses.
hmm
Was that a lesson to you? Was that an awareness you had?
Yeah, it was. I think I realized going into this that not everyone's gonna say yes. The chances of 180 very busy women who are accomplishing so much, the chances of them all saying yes, it's highly unrealistic. So instead of taking every no as kind of a setback, rejection is always redirection. That's something I always live by. And the outcome that happened, it was meant to happen. And there were also a lot of other bumps along the road. It wasn't just some of the women saying no, it could have been issues with deadlines, writing, publishing. But every setback, it kind of made me more dedicated to reach my goal and more passionate, if anything, to just do super good on what I already have. So yeah.
You are so delightful. Your energy is just captivating. We should bottle it up, I think, Kavya.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And here it is again. There were reasons. The no wasn't like no, don't bother me kind of thing. There were reasons.
Mhm.
But I love your phrase that you took from that again. That you seem to have, you do have this wisdom beyond just being 16. Every rejection is a redirection. I, how profound is that? Pretty profound, I think, right? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And so, do you have other siblings? I think you do, right?
Yes. Yeah, I have a younger brother and a younger sister.
And so, do they look up to you thinking, like, look at our sister? She's written this book, she's a published author.
Yeah, honestly, it's actually kind of funny because my sister, her and I were working very closely during my whole writing journey. She was asking me a lot about the process, and I was obviously telling her, even when I was writing some of the pages, she'd be right here, just watching me write. But what was really funny is my brother actually didn't even know I published the book until it came out. He's 10 years old. He's in fifth grade. He's in his own world. So when the book came through the mail and I was like holding it up for the first time, he's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "It's the book I wrote." And he's like, "You wrote a book?" And I think ever since then, it was like he's telling all his friends about it, all of his teachers know about it. I think he's very proud of me, and that means a lot because I love him so much and I want to inspire him.
Oh, that is very loving and shows just how a 10-year-old might be kind of in their own world, not aware that you're even working on this. So it's so amazing. And then we get to your parents and how they feel about Kavya, the author, all that you did. Well, you said your mother was pretty involved. She was quite involved with this. But still, now with the finished product, how is she feeling? How's your dad feeling?
They're both very, very proud. I actually dedicated the book to my mom too, so that made me feel really happy, and that made her feel really happy as well. It's not only them, but like my entire family has been really supportive. My dad's side of the family, they live in England. My mom's side of the family, they live in India. So just seeing that and hearing that support from essentially all over the world just means a lot to me, and I couldn't have done it without my parents. My dad's advice with like setting a price to the book and publishing matters and all that kind of logistical stuff. And then my mom's advice when it came to the creative, actually like the actual foundation of my book, I couldn't have done it without them both. They're very inspiring to me and I love them.
What a wonderful family. This
Mhm.
is, it's so ideal, being able to interact with each other, to have that support and to really be guided and to be proud of each other. They're very proud of you, but you obviously have a deep love for them and are very proud of who they are as well as your brother and sister. So,
Yeah.
yeah, what a great family dynamic that's going on. And with friends at school, because school's in session, here you are, this published author. What kind of response have you gotten from your friends, from the teachers?
So, but when the book was kind of just coming out, I ordered, I want to say, 20 copies just to kind of disperse to some family, friends, teachers. So I gave 5 copies to 5 different teachers that have had a profound impact on my educational career. So I gave it to them, and they were all super, super grateful. They were super proud of me. And that made me feel really good because the bulk of my book, it's interviewing and it's writing at the end of the day. And most of the books that I gave my to my teachers, they were English teachers, and they kind of fueled my love for writing, if anything, because that's what we did in their classes. So I think giving it to them and seeing their reaction and just kind of seeing that one of their students, like their love for writing, it paid off in the end because now I actually had something like tangible to give them. It was really amazing seeing their reaction. And then also my friends too, they know all about it. They've been really, really supportive, whether it was through social media or purchasing it or telling their family about it. Just the support through so many different people, so many different groups. It means a lot.
Yeah, well, I can understand it because the stories are amazing, and to accomplish it, it's gone beyond just planning. This will be something I do, but here it is, tangibly in print, and being able to hand that copy to a teacher, to a friend. It's that's priceless.
Mhm.
And as you said, you love your English classes, and obviously you learned a great deal there. And I believe I read that you had this dream of being a journalist. Is that still a dream?
Yes, that is true. My dream at the end of the day, what I want to major in is journalism. I want to be a journalist. I just love interacting with people. I love talking to people. I love hearing people's stories. And I
Mm.
think my book, Bows and Ties, it gave me the perfect opportunity to do that. And it really fueled my love and passion for being a journalist.
And yet there is this part of your life, and you share that, of course, in the book about acting and that whole area as a possible career. That's something that you love to do as well.
Yes, so I don't really do it as much anymore, but when I was in middle school and kind of starting off high school in ninth grade, I was able to have so many amazing opportunities. I had a tiny part in a Netflix film called Me Time with Kevin Hart, so I got to meet him, and that was really, really cool. And then one of the women that I interviewed, her name is Rose Beth Johnson Brown, and she directed a indie short film that I was in called Cuspid, kind of just about environmental change and what the world would look like 30 years from now. So all of those experiences were really cool as well. And that kind of fueled my love for journalism, if anything, because I got to talk to so many different people, whether it be the actors, the crew, the people who are doing your hair and makeup. It's just so cool to have all these conversations. And like I said, I love talking to people. So I think the more interactions that I had with these people, the more I realized that everyone truly does come from a different walk of life, a different phase of life. And I think just hearing these stories, it really fueled my love for journalism.
And you discovered that they loved sharing the stories. They loved letting you into their life and letting you know who they were and what they were about.
Mhm.
And
Yes, yeah.
that really came out quite clearly, I think, with the director, with Rose Beth Johnson. Is it?
Yes,
Yes.
correct. Yeah.
So, and you were rather, I think, amazed that she was so open and helpful and gentle as well. And that was really a wonderful thing to see as a reader. How maybe we all have kind of this judgmental idea of a director
Mhm.
being kind of
Yeah.
stringent and strict, but she was just lovely.
Yeah, and I think when I was going into acting and when I started meeting with agents and managers for the first time, they kind of warned me that not everyone you're gonna meet is going to be nice. That's the harsh truth of this industry. And I think kind of going into these jobs, I was always expecting the worst. I was like, okay, you have to be on your best behavior. You have to follow this direction. And if you don't, something bad's going to happen. But meeting Rose for the first time, her aura and her presence and her energy was just so warm. And she's been in the industry for so long. She grew up in it. She knows how it is. And every single day on set, I was just greeted by this kindness, this warmth, this radiance, this beauty inside and out. And she made me feel so comfortable. It was one of my first acting jobs, and I just felt so confident, and I felt so excited going to set every single day. And I truly think that she had such a profound impact on not only my journey as an actress, but also on how I kind of tackle everything I do professionally in my life. Just handle it with softness, kindness, and be who you are at the end of the day.
Oh, again, to learn such an incredible lesson at this very young age, to have such a positive experience, and yet it's not what you necessarily see yourself doing, but who knows? I mean, who knows what kind of
Yeah.
doors open up as you go along as a journalist, traveling the world. Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes. So in the really kind of a big focus in the book is sisterhood, which is really a great idea. uh, Not just a great idea, it's such an important concept in our lives, and that really resonated, really, I would say, with each of the women that you interviewed, that they found that was really an important aspect of our lives in this world, right?
Yes, yeah.
And for you, though, how did that really come about, thinking that sisterhood was such a core element?
Mhm. So kind of just going back to COVID and like just hearing all these
Mm,
female kind of related stories, I kind of wanted a word to, I guess, encompass everything. And I thought sisterhood was the perfect word because, and I was even talking to my mom about this too. She has her friend group. So it's her and then three other women. And then they all have daughters and sons, and that kind of created my really close family friend group. And I'm especially close with the daughters. So I think that kind of first generation to the second generation created a very strong generational sisterhood, if anything. And I think those relationships were also what kind of got me out of that period of uncertainty and anxiety during COVID. So I thought, based on those experiences, that was the perfect word to describe the core of Bows and Ties. And I think the questions I asked and the responses I got, everything really worked out perfectly because you're hearing different stories of resilience, of working hard, of being kind, of what it means to be a woman. And I think by putting all of those stories together, it kind of creates a modern definition of sisterhood, which is what my goal was.
mm. Well, I believe you accomplished that. I would think
Thank
that probably anyone reading it would feel it, but your teachers are kind of the ones that would, being the role that they are, probably felt that come across quite strongly for them too, right?
Mhm, yes,
Yeah.
especially in English, we always talk about a theme and a motif. And one of my teachers actually said, "You accomplished the theme. You successfully identified one, sisterhood, and you went with it." So that meant a lot hearing that as well.
Yeah. What encouragement. That is really incredible. So this is kind of the formatting or setting up the structure, and which I thought was really interesting, how they tie into each other, how a comment from the first person then leads a question into the second one, and from there and onward, which is really such an interesting idea. And how did that all evolve?
So that's actually kind of it's hard because I can't really think of what came first. It
Hmm.
was either that structure kind of played into the name being Bows and Ties because it's like I'm weaving and tying every story together, but weaving and tying doesn't really sound like that good of a book name. So I changed it to Bows and Ties to just kind of add that like feminine sort of sisterhood, girly aspect into there. And then I think I tried to translate that with the cover. So I think the format of the book kind of had to do with the name of the book. I wanted the name to align with the format of the book, and obviously the format of the book to align with the name. And I think I've never really read a book or heard of a book following that structure, but I think along the way, from start to finish, it created one big, beautiful bow and tie of all the stories together.
Yes, absolutely. So that's genius to have it happen like that, to really be thinking of it and then to have it work out. And it's interesting that you say you're not sure which came first. Sometimes life is like that though, right? It's like how do you
Mhm.
maybe it was just meant to be and it all just came together perfectly
Mhm.
in that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the book is available uh, just the way books normally are. We can ask for it at our favorite bookstores, or we can order it online. All of that, right?
So right now, it's you can purchase it on Amazon through either ebook, Kindle format, or paperback. And I'm in the process of kind of getting it to some bookstores. But since I self-published this book, you have to find a book agent to be able to sell it to these bookstores. So that's been kind of a process on its own. But I am kind of getting started with incorporating my books into some libraries near the Orange County area and also elementary schools in the Orange County area as well in their libraries.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, libraries are really a great destination for a book like this. And then people read it, women and men, and find that it's just this incredible gift book that for whatever age it really can resonate, because here you are, this amazing 16-year-old young woman writing this, but the wisdom that's included here really is going to touch so many lives, probably already has.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. It's just the way that I see how this has evolved, and it's just, again, such an amazing thing to conceive and to do, and as you said, now to get it into bookstores. Here's another part of it that is a new lesson that you're learning and having to figure out. And it doesn't seem like you're daunted by it. It's like, oh, here's a new adventure. Let's go try this out. It's like taking a trip somewhere. Is that the way it kind of feels to you?
1,000%. I think, and even something that the book has taught me too, is that every opportunity, it's you don't want to necessarily treat it as like a daunting task. It's always going to be, like you mentioned, a new adventure. And I think maybe before I started these interviews, I kind of might approach it as like, "Ugh, here's another thing I have to do." But after interviewing all of these women and actually, I guess, finding meaning behind what I want to do in this book and just having this like passion for my book, I think every opportunity, it gets me excited. If even if that means putting like having to put in a lot of work or maybe even a little work, every opportunity kind of gets me going and really passionate. And yeah, I'm just excited to see the new opportunities that come along as well.
Yes, it's like, come on, life, I'm ready for you. Send it my way. I'm going to try this new adventure, whatever it is, kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
So, is the adventure of applying for universities and colleges part of
Mhm.
what's going on for you too?
Yes. So I haven't really been experiencing much of that application stress right now just because the applications for I'm going to be a senior next year, so the applications for college, they don't open till I believe August, but
Mm.
I've had to have those conversations with my parents and with other teachers and counselors where they're telling me you have to start writing your essays, you have to keep up with your good grades, you have to make sure you really, really know what you want to major in. And I think I have one for sure checked off the box because I really know that I do want to major in journalism, communication, something in that creative field. It's just kind of keeping up a 4.0 and really making sure that when you're applying to colleges, you're demonstrating who you are. And even if that means writing 8 different essays, obviously, it's a lot to do, it's a lot to submit. But my goal is just to kind of reflect who I am and what I love doing. And hopefully, colleges can see that.
Well, Kavya, let's see. 8 essays. You've published a book which is filled
Mhm.
with 19 interviews besides your introduction and such. So I would think that essays shouldn't be quite any kind of problem for you, right?
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. Honestly, I think I secretly, when everyone's like, "Ugh, I have to write an essay," I'm the type of person where I secretly enjoy doing it. So, yeah.
Well, and there it is. I think, it's said, just do what you love, and and you just never are feeling like you're working at something. And with your dream of journalism or communications, you're obviously very talented in this area. So it feels like you're moving in the right direction, that it'll be a matter of deciding, like, well, where shall I go? The whole country's at my footstep here.
Yeah, and that's another conversation I've been having too. My mom, she's very adamant on me staying in California. She does not want me to leave. She starts to tear up every single time we talk about the possibility of me going to another state. But my dad's like, get out there, travel the world. You're always going to have California. So I think it really comes down to what type of schools accept me, what type of programs they have, and then just kind of looking at that. There's so many factors that come into choosing a university.
Sure, absolutely. But isn't that another fun prospect that's ahead of you?
Yes, another fun opportunity and adventure to tackle.
Yeah, another one of those adventures, exactly. Oh, well, I'm excited to continue to watch for your star rising. I mean, you already have this very bright and shining star, but to see, what it is you'll choose to do and what's going to evolve and what kinds of opportunities are presented to you and you move forward, we need to remember your name and watch what's going on with you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for this opportunity. I had such an amazing time.
As did I. Again, I can't just say enough how wonderful it is to be able to connect with you and to hear you in person, because your written word is just so captivating. Your dreams are just amazing. And so again, you said the book we can purchase on Amazon.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And Bows and Ties, that's the title. You can definitely find it that way. And we should maybe let's have you spell your name so that there's no question there.
Okay, so Kavya, Kavya, Thakrar, Thakrar.
Yeah, perfect. And you're on the socials, right? So people could follow you?
Correct, yes. My Instagram is @BowsandTiesBook.
Perfect. I mean, that's a good place to find it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, once again, what an amazing young woman you are. I am just so thrilled that we could have this conversation. So happy to meet you and wish you just continued glowing success.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here this morning to meet these special guests with their special stories and the important energy they bring to our world, hopefully encouraging us in the role that we have. Please check this station's website for the podcasts for more information about these guests, and please share the stories with your family and friends. I'm Kate Daniels. If you'd like to connect with me, simply send me an email, katedaniels@hubbardradio.com. And now, enjoy this fresh new day and share lots of love.
Thank you for listening to Inspirational Women. Tune in every Sunday morning at this time to hear about those truly empowering the Northwest community, all for the greater good. Sunday Morning Magazine and Inspirational Women are a public service of Hubbard Radio Seattle.